Brain lazy. Crap straight from our brains to your eyes.
Hey everybody, this is Fox. This is intended to be the video supplement to the written FAQ I did. Some of you might not pronounce the acronym FAQ, but I do. You can find the link to the FAQ in the description field below this video, where you can either go to brainlazy.com, my website, or to the link at GameFAQs, whichever you feel more comfortable with. To start off, make sure you're using the best hardware possible. So that's display, controller, and your connection to the net. Real quick, the displays with the best response time goes in this order. CRT, which is around 1 microsecond, plasma, which is also around 1 microsecond, DLP sets either rear projection or front projection, which is around 15 microseconds, and last is LCD, which is generally around 8 to 16 milliseconds black to black. For me, I'm using an LCD, and I'm going to show you a video that I recorded with a high-speed camera. It records at 210 frames a second, and the first controller I use is a wireless controller. You can get an idea of the latency from this video. So 210 frames a second, 37 frames to initiate, 177. It's about around 176 milliseconds for my action to resolve on screen. Next, I use a wired controller. You should see a difference here. Still recording at 210 frames a second. This time, when I counted the frames, I got around 143 milliseconds. And you can see me pushing it right there. And it stops, push back the other way. You should be able to see a difference between the wired controller versus the wireless one. So you have 210 frames a second, 30 frames to start stop. So 143 milliseconds for the action to respond. It's like 33 millisecond difference. It might not seem like a lot, but it's almost 1/20th of a second. So it's actually a pretty big deal. So before we begin this multiplayer guide proper, I also want to review of the third aspect that can affect your gameplay, and that's your connection to the internet. You really should try to get a wired connection. I know a wireless connection is more convenient, but depending on your signal, it could interfere with your network. So same thing with the wireless controller versus a wired controller. Wired connection to the net is just better. So first we're going to do the weapons. So from left to right, we have the spiker, the plasma pistol, the needler, the magnum, the assault rifle, the plasma rifle, the needle rifle, the plasma repeater, the DMR. Next we have the energy sword, the gravity hammer, the new grenade launcher with an EMP type of attack if you hold it down, the concussion rifle, fuel rod cannon, fuel rod gun, the focus beam, which is like a Forerunner tech, the plasma launcher, rocket launcher, shotgun, sniper rifle, and the Spartan laser. So two new things about the weapons. There is now an expanding reticule or reticule bloom and an accuracy boundary. On the DMR you'll notice two circles. The inner circle is actually your aiming reticule and the outer circle is your accuracy boundary. As long as your aiming reticule stays within your accuracy boundary, your shot will still be centered. In this second go, I just hammered away at the trigger, and you can see when I fire without waiting to be within that accuracy boundary that my aim is now the spread of my aiming reticule. Another bit of info, if you look at the plasma pistol at the top right, you'll actually notice that while holding down the charge shot, the energy is rapidly depleting. If it reaches 0, you will fire off the charge shot, but the plasma pistol would then be spent. Because of this penalty, I think Bungie increased the speed at which the charge shot flies. The noob combo is still pretty easy to pull off. Also, a charge shot still disables vehicles. They also have a new weapon that disables vehicles. It's the grenade launcher. If you hold down the trigger on the grenade launcher, you'll have a timed explosion. Upon detonation, it is like an area effect EMP, and it will short circuit all vehicles in the area. For the rocket launcher, you actually don't have to hold down to the trigger to lock on anymore. You just have to aim, wait for it to auto lock, and fire. Okay, next up is the vehicles, and I'm going to be taking a walk to the Ghost. The new thing about the Ghost is you can see it has like a higher head protection, so especially when you're dashing around, he actually crouches down a little bit more, so it might be a little bit harder to snipe people at the top. At the left side of the Ghost is that canister that you can fire at and it'll explode. You could boost while dashing. You can dash while turning, so you can make like hard turns in the Ghost while dashing now. This is the Mongoose. Mongoose is the 2-man ATV. Still a clumsy vehicle. You flop around a lot on different terrain. Right trigger causes the horn. This is the Falcon. The Falcon is, I don't know what type of air sport it is, but left trigger is to raise into the air, right bumper is to lock the altitude. On the sides it has manned Gatling guns, so you can, man that. This is the Revenant. It's kind of like the Covenant Warthog. It's only a 2-man vehicle. The right side has no artillery, but the driver can boost and fire this salvo, and it's really devastating. I mean, it doesn't do so well against other vehicles, but against infantry, it's actually really devastating. And even if the splash damage doesn't hit the person, it blinds the hell out of them. It's like you see an intense purplish neon screen all around you. So it can be used to distort the enemy. This is a Scorpion tank. The machine gun's not there anymore. Still just a regular tank. There's 3 different versions of the Warthog now. That was the Gatling gun one. This is the Gauss cannon one. Fires relatively quickly. Pretty devastating. Instant attack. Goes pretty fast. The next new one is the missile pod one, and it fires 6 missiles in one shot. You can't just fire one at a time. You have to deplete all 6 in one go. You can move around while you're aiming those missiles, though, so there's that. And next up is the Covenant Wraith, which is the tank that everyone's already had. You can boost and hurl a salvo, but now you can also have a gunner. I know it's a pretty general overview of what the vehicles are, but I didn't really cover them. I didn't cover them at all in the written FAQ. So again, this video is just a supplement to the written FAQ. And this is the armor abilities. This is the jetpack ability. Lasts for about 5 seconds. Takes about 6 or 7 to recharge. I have all that type of information on the written FAQ. This is the hologram. Wasn't available in the beta. You can see very clearly that when you fire at it, it blinks like crazy. So don't be fooled by that. If you fire at it once and you see that, either look for where it's coming from or just stop firing at it because it's obviously a decoy. Obviously, with the invisibility, it can be used to confuse you with the radar, so be careful with that. This is the evade ability. You can use it twice consecutively, and it recharges in 5 seconds. It's actually pretty useful. It shrinks your hitbox a lot, and you can actually cover quite a distance and close the gap. This is the sprint ability. It's something that I was hoping it would be a little bit better. It lasts for 5 seconds. It recharges in 5 seconds. I was hoping that it either lasts longer or you'd run faster. It just doesn't seem up to snuff with everything else. This is another one of the armor abilities that wasn't available in the beta. It's the drop shield. So it's quite like the drop shield from Halo 3. The nice thing is it lasts for 15 seconds and it recharges in 20 seconds. So that's actually it's actually a really good ability, especially for group support. What else we got? This is the armor lock. So this is a personal invulnerability shield. You can take anything, and it emits an EMP burst when you finish. It only lasts for 5 seconds, and it takes a really long time to recharge. I think 25 seconds or some odd number. It's it's useful if you're waiting for buddies to back you up. I don't know. This is the active camo. It lasts a long time, it's like around 45 seconds. It recharges in 25 seconds. But the invisibility isn't all that great. It's very easy to see someone, especially the lighter it is, it's easier to see someone. The darker it is, it isn't. You appear as soon as you fire. You appear when you walk. It seems like the objective of the Inviso camo is to be more of a confusion class, because if you look at the radar, there's a whole bunch of dots that are swirling around. And obviously it's there to confuse the player. The only thing is, when people see that, they know that there's an invisible person around, so they may be hunting for you. Okay, so this is actually really, really important, knowing the map. First, we're just going to show you, if you look at the bottom left, I'm starting to zoom in. Look at the bottom left, and you can see that there's names that are actually changing as I'm scrolling along. These are names of the sections of the map that are, where the section is. So pay attention to that, and make a note of it, because if you need to, call out where you are. I'm waiting for the rocket launcher to pop right here, and it does. Look at the time, it's 5:33, and I'm jumping down to where the weapon should be coming back. It's going to speed up right now. The logo's in the way, but you should be able to see it anyway. What I'm doing is I'm getting a weapon respawn time, and it's around 118 seconds, so it pops around like 3:36-ish. So that's another thing that you have to look out for when you want to run the map. I explain in more detail in the written fact. There it is. I got all my data from Forge, and it's saying that it's 180 seconds for the heavy weapons, but that isn't the case. So it might be a bug. We'll keep up with it, and I'll keep up to date on it. So these are a couple of things that I could show better in a video than explaining in a written fact. That's it. Thanks for watching this supplemental video to the written fact. Thank you for watching.